Hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of my weight loss journey series. Today is going to be a little bit more elaborate and detailed explanation of how this journey started. In the last episode I told you largely about the changes that took place in my life that led me to take this transformation up, but we're going to get into all the details now. Okay, are you ready? All right, let's go. So in today's episode, I'm going to focus on three particular reasons, or you could say intentions, for me to begin with this transformation, mostly related to the food and diet and lifestyle change that I wanted to take up. So here goes. The first intention that I had was coming from the fact that 90% of senior citizens, elderly people all around the world depend on pills to live through their old age. Did you know that? And I've seen this a lot. Like every time I've been around old people in my family or anywhere outside, I've seen them always having chronic illnesses like diabetes or blood pressure, and all this is like very common these days, and they're usually popping pills before or after their meals, and things like that. So my goal is to not make my body survive on pills, because I want to dance at least until I'm 65 or 70 years old, okay, or maybe longer. So that's like my minimum requirement, okay. So in order to be able to dance until that age, I realized I need to make some changes, because I've lived that rampant life, that ignorant life enough, and it was time for me to make some changes. So that's the foremost thing that I decided, because pills are just going to be very temporary to rectify your problem, but obviously they're not a permanent solution. So permanent solution is to be healthy eating, mindfully eating, being aware of what your body needs, and etc. I already mentioned to you I don't want to live on pills, okay, which implies that I do not want to see doctors and hospitals and go through treatments and spend money on everything else that can be avoided with proper food. And to be able to do that, I had to know my body. I had to listen to my body. I wanted to understand what my body wants, because like I mentioned in my previous vlog, that I had experimented enough. I did not want to go with any trending diet. I wanted to know what my body wants at that time and age, because your body needs different things at different times of your life. Depending on what age you're in, what kind of work you're doing, what's the environment you're living in, all these factors really determine how your body functions. So this is the reason why I wanted a very customized, tailor-made diet, and I also wanted to reverse my thyroid. So I have hypothyroidism, the one that makes you fat, which is so common these days considering the lifestyles that we are all leading. And I majorly wanted to reverse it. Okay, I wanted to undo all the damage that I'd done to my body in the past. And I was struggling a lot with skin problems, with emotional issues, with emotional eating, and a lot of things that were surfacing without my knowledge. My immunity was going down, and I used to travel so extensively, and I used to have a very bad eating, sleeping pattern and things like that. So I wanted to reverse the damage that I had done, okay, and primarily reverse thyroid. So that, and the fact that I had seen enough of hospitals and illnesses and treatments, you know, with that whole phase when my dad passed away, and with my mom, which is still happening at the moment because, you know, age related. And I think that generation very rarely took care of themselves. You know, the fact that our moms and dads were having a large family, and you know, they could barely make their ends meet, and let alone take care of themselves and focus on themselves. So obviously they come from that generation where they would put themselves right at the bottom and take care of everyone else, and sacrifice themselves to take care of everyone else. So I noticed this change, I noticed this difference, and I realized how important it is to first have time taken out and focus on your own health in order to be able to help everybody else, and to not be dependent on anybody, whether you're young or you're old. Okay, I'm not saying that I don't want to take care of my parents. Of course I have to, it is our duty, but it's something that it changed a couple of things in me, and I realized how important it is, because my mom and my dad very rarely took care of themselves. So it's important that you understand how your body works, what your body needs at different parts and phases of your life. So that obviously means that you don't have to go to hospitals and doctors and take a pill every single time. You will understand automatically how to rectify some of the things if they do go wrong with your body. That's my second intention. And it kind of leads me to my third point, which is the fact that I started researching about how food impacts the mind, okay? Because when my father passed away, my mind, I can't even tell you the changes, the trauma and the stress that I went through. Having a 6-month-old baby, my breast milk stopped completely because of the stress, and my mother was hospitalized at the same time. She had surgeries to go through. We were at a financial breakdown, and then we had to move to a different city. And I mean, there were so many complications that I had to deal with. So I started slowly, with the help of my friends and therapy, I started finding out that food plays an important role in the way you can handle stress, or in the way your body can have some resilience, or in the way you look at things, your perspective. I couldn't believe this at first, but I was determined to try it out. I was determined to find out how this works. I had only known about it, I'd only heard and read about it, but now I was ready to accept it for a wonderful change to happen in me. So I wanted to allow my body to go through that transformation where I am understanding that connection between the mind and the food, and more importantly, rectify my behavioral issues. For me, when I say issue, I meant some changes that I wanted to have in me. Like, I wanted to be a more calmer person. I wanted to get rid of some of the anger in my body. I wanted to ease myself of the trauma that I had gone through. I wanted to be able to have more mental strength, more mental stability, because every little thing would agitate me. Every small statement would make me worry. There was so much of anxiety and frustration and up and down, back and forth a lot. So I figured that if I was going to be able to work on that, then it'll also help me in my career, in my dance, because obviously if you have better mental clarity, stability, and you're free from anxiety or stress or trauma, your choreography probably, or the way you dance, the way you teach can change, right? And I was at that point where I was going to start from scratch. I really had to work my way up from the beginning, and I still am, because I feel like an absolute newcomer now, even though I'm in the industry for 15 years. I'm grateful that I'm getting the opportunity to start from scratch, because I know my past, I know how it's been, and I know that those can be the mistakes, and I don't want to make those mistakes. So everything has to be rectified now. So yeah, and all these things brought together my purpose and the initiation of my transformation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am going to be putting out a very detailed episode number 3 with all my diet plans, meal plans, and all the foods and ingredients that I had started taking, and the changes that I made in my diet. Everything out going to be in detail. All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next episode. Keep watching. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.